Welcome to the Iraq Training Advisory Mission Air Special. I'm Air Force Master Sergeant Gene Taylor. Under Saddam Hussein, the Iraqi Air Force was over 1,000 aircraft strong, but 2 wars with the United States left their Air Force in shambles. The men and women of the Iraq Training and Advisory Mission Air have been steadily mentoring and rebuilding Iraqi air power since 2006.
It's a long and storied history with thousands of air advisors who've come through here to help the Iraqi Air Force rebuild their capabilities, and the Army Aviation Command as well, now that they're separate. And if you look at where they started, with only a few hundred airmen, building over 70 airplanes and over 90 helicopters in just a short period of time, it's pretty amazing.
Today, Iraq has over 170 aircraft, more than 5,000 airmen, and another 2,500 Army aviators, and is gaining in size and abilities every day. Let's look at some of their accomplishments and Iraq's future air power plans as we prepare to withdraw U.S. military forces by December 31st. The Iraqi Army has over 90 helicopters, ranging from Russian-made Mi-17s to American-made Hueys and Bell 407s. Their fleet at Taji Airfield operates independently, flying armed anti-terrorism missions day and night.
They can now deliver a fairly significant package in any kind of mission they're doing. They're running rocket mission by themselves. They're quickly establishing themselves as a capable force, independent of needing American help.
During the Saddam era, safety wasn't a high priority when loading weapons. But today, after training under Air Force advisors, things are different.
They're understanding that safety is priority. As in the past, they just like safety is all Americans. But now we're teaching them that safety is not just an American way, it's the way they should be doing it.
We haven't had any incidents, in my tenure here. And in turn, I see our guys, and when I walk in on the shop unannounced, they're doing their end of runway checks. They have their aircraft with the rockets coned off and their precautionary signs up, and they're doing that all on their own.
Another area where great strides have been made is in maintenance. It used to be when aircraft needed parts, the Iraqis would wait months for orders to come in. Over the last year, the Iraq Training and Advisory Mission Air has changed all that. They've created a fully functional machine and sheet metal shop and trained Iraqi airmen to operate it. The advantages are many. Take this bracket, for example.
Instead of having to go through a normal supply system, wasting time, money, resources, they can locally manufacture this bracket here. It takes about 2 days as opposed to waiting 6 months for this bracket to come in. Pretty much anything that could be made on a mill, lathe, or Bridgeport machine, we can make in the shop here at Taji.
This machine shop is a big boost to operations, but it's just one of many improvements U.S. advisors have helped Iraqi airmen achieve over the last few months.
We have a weapons section, we have an ammunition section, we have flight line crew chiefs, we have a back shop avionics section right now that actually has an Iraqi shop chief. They can manufacture parts, they can repair aircraft, they do all kinds of phenomenal things. So now they're self-sustaining themselves.
During the last year, ITAM air advisors have helped these Iraqi airmen go from performing about 20% of their own aircraft maintenance to over 80%. At New Al-Matana Air Force Base, Iraqi airmen fly 2 different aircraft, an older model C-130 cargo plane and a King Air 350 that carries passengers or can perform surveillance missions. The C-130s were first flown here in 2006, and the squadron has been fully self-sufficient since September of 2009.
They are fully autonomous on their flight operations and their maintenance. Fully capable of sustaining, training, and evaluating their performance, and obviously doing the operational mission of basic airlift for the Iraqi government. Hopefully they'll continue to work hard and sustain that operation.
The King Air 350 program isn't as far along. They fly regular ISR missions with qualified pilots and sensor operators alongside U.S. air advisors. Aircraft maintenance is performed by contractors, but earlier this year, U.S. contractors began training with Iraqi airmen.
Since we got here 4 months ago, I see a lot of improvement. These guys picking up a lot of experience. They still have a long way to go to be self-sufficient. I don't think they could open an aircraft up for inspection and start and finish it without supervisions.
Both of these aircraft programs are at a stage where they should be successful without U.S. advisors, yet both could still benefit from their expertise.
Yeah, I think it's important that obviously we remain, U.S. and Iraq stays tied in relations, especially the support to continue bringing these guys into the U.S. for formalized training. They've already sustained that basic foundation of airlift, perhaps now starting to add the pieces to achieve that success.
Iraq has 6 of the new J model C-130s on order and should begin receiving them next year. But all these aircraft can't fly without pilots. When ITAM Air started building Iraqi air power, Iraqi pilots were trained by U.S. instructors. Now, the Iraqi Air Force is training their own pilots. 21 months ago, this flight line was empty. Today, 15 primary flight training aircraft are here, and 11 fully certified Iraqi instructor pilots are teaching between 10 and 20 native pilots at any one time. Iraqi Flying Training Squadron 203 is now self-sustaining with their own aircrew flight equipment and standards and evaluation shops. This operational success is the work of the 52nd Expeditionary Flying Training Squadron, who've helped the Iraqis learn how to train their own pilots, holding them to U.S. standards the whole way.
They're as good or better than any IPs that we have at home. As a matter of fact, some of their younger guys, they call them the first assignment IPs, the FAPEs, are as good as any that we've had back home.
Flight training in Iraq faces many unique challenges, from the desert heat limiting when you can fly, to a lack of support infrastructure. There's also no jet trainer yet, as in the States, so more lessons are covered in this initial flying course.
So they have a longer syllabus, but they are held to the same standard as far as for each individual maneuver and the overall grade of the sortie. So I feel very confident that they are able to take this mission where they will be a fully functioning pilot training base.
The success of this program, though, is already proven. The 11th instructor pilot was certified by Squadron 203 the day after U.S. advisors ceased their advisor duties.
They are the foundation, and they will be the enduring capabilities of the Iraqi Air Force. And all the rest of the Iraqi pilots that get their wings are going to be trained by this squadron here.
They have aircraft and trained pilots. The next step on the road to strong, independent Iraqi air power is air traffic controllers. Let's meet the first of many Iraqi ATCs taking charge of the skies over their nation's airwaves.
Shaheen 42, turn right, exit to Lima taxiway and one off, contact ground 127, decimal 375.
Lieutenant Yusuf is the first fully licensed Iraqi air traffic controller.
I think it means a lot because now I understand the needs for my country to build air traffic control now, to build our abilities to get control our airfield and airways.
He comes in, he sets a prime example for all the guys in the training program. He says, hey, if you work hard, listen to your instructors, that you can do this job on as high level as anybody in the United States Air Force.
Lieutenant Yusuf is the first of many Iraqi controllers to be certified. As of October 20th, 4 more Iraqi controllers had earned their certifications.
Not only Lieutenant Yusuf, but all of the students are highly educated. I can't imagine controlling in a foreign language. I can't imagine studying in a foreign language to then go on to perform in a foreign language. These guys do it in 450 hours or less. It's very impressive.
In ideal conditions here, it takes roughly a year to train an air traffic controller. There are many language and cultural hurdles to overcome, but the hope is that soon, Lieutenant Yusuf and others from his class will begin passing on their newly learned skills to the next generation of Iraqi controllers.
They want to learn, they want this. They want to be air traffic controllers for the nation of Iraq. They want to forward the progress of their country.
On October 20th, of 35 Iraqi controllers to complete technical training, 5 had earned full ICAA civilian certification, and 12 were in testing for their licenses.
We ensure that they're safe, we make sure that they're effective, and the efficiency part will come as they now begin to train and gain experience. If a year ago, you would ask me, hey, can we send some controllers to Kirkuk to open the tower? Or can we send some controllers to Tikrit or Ali Base or Taji for the Army Aviation? We would have had to say, we can't. But now, we are able to send those controllers as a minimum essential to open those towers, and they take over from us as we transition out of the country.
On October 1st, another milestone was achieved when the U.S. Air Force transferred management of the Baghdad and Balad airspace sectors to the Iraq Civil Aviation Authority. Iraq's air traffic controllers are now directing the movement of all aircraft within their country for the first time since 2003.
They've definitely come a long way, and they do have a self-sufficient air traffic control system now. Their controllers are very competent. One area they do need a little bit of work on is just their communications infrastructure. It's very fragile. They need to invest a little bit more money in their radars and radios, but once they do that, I think they'll have that'll be a good way forward for them.
In September, Iraq decided to buy American-made F-16 Fighting Falcons for their future air defense. The purchase will ensure a strong relationship between the U.S. and Iraq for many years to come. At a public ceremony, Staff Lieutenant General Anwar, the commander of the Iraqi Air Force, said Iraq's decision to buy 18 F-16 Fighting Falcons for their future air defense will encourage and strengthen the strategic partnership between the United States and Iraq. The package deal includes U.S. logistical support as well as pilot and maintenance training.
I think this is the one main issue to maintaining our strategic relationship between both countries through the F-16 because this aircraft is the best aircraft in the wide of the world.
Although Iraq already has several aircraft models in its inventory, the incorporation of the F-16 will mark the true rebirth of the Iraqi Air Force.
Our building is here strong. In the future, F-16 also will be here in the Iraqi Air Force, and also we have also transport aircraft like C-130, C-130E, C-130J, and also another aircrafts. I'm very happy because I saw that our future is very good.
While most ITAM air instructors are scheduled to leave Iraq by the end of the year, a select few will stay on and continue to oversee aviation programs. Let's meet an instructor pilot who will advise into the new year under NATO in the Office of Security Cooperation, Iraq. The sun isn't even up yet, but Chief Warrant Officer Jason Ganatano is already hard at work. He's a 7-year veteran helicopter instructor pilot, and this is one of the last times he'll be able to fly with Iraqi student pilots.
The best part is the flying. That's my job back at Fort Rucker, is to fly and teach students, and I'm doing the same thing as I did back there, teaching basically the same type of students at the same level.
While the maintainers perform their last-minute checks, Chief Ganatano discusses the flight characteristics of the Bell 407 helicopter with his students. He believes this aircraft is a good fit for the growing Iraqi Army Air Corps.
But it's pretty versatile, it's simple, and being simple, it's easier to maintain and sustain.
Then it's up, up, and away. While most air advisors will be out of Iraq by year's end, Chief Ganatano will be here through the spring. He won't be in the cockpit, but he will be advising the Bell 407 training program.
I'm here to be the eyes and ears and the belly button here at Taji. I'm going to help them with bringing in the aircraft here, getting to the right place, and getting people trained.
At the end of all this, if you look back at the 7 years of CAF-T, ITAM Air Force, and ITAM Air, and the 321st Air Expeditionary Wing, the easiest way to sum up what we have done is we have taken a nation, we have taken an Air Force that was literally rebuilding itself from the ashes, and we've given them the opportunity for a more secure, more stable, and representative democracy in the future. And at the end of the day, that's good for Iraq, it's good for the United States, it's good for the region, and it's good for the world.
And that's a look at Iraqi air power as the Iraq Training and Advisory Mission Air and all American military forces stand prepared to leave Iraq. I'm Air Force Master Sergeant Gene Taylor. Have a great day.